Batman Redeemed. I do not own rights to Batman at all or any character mentioned here. They are all owned by DC. The storyline is mine, but the characters are not. Batman is the property of DC Comics and DC. And now, without further ado, Batman Redeemed, Part 1. Gotham City, 100 years ago. The first reports arrived as rumors. Hunters disappeared in the forests outside Gotham. Livestock died overnight. Entire groves of unfamiliar crimson plants spread around the hillsides, where no botanist had ever recorded life before. They weren't there last spring, one farmer insisted before collapsing from a mysterious illness. Within weeks, scientists confirmed the impossible. These were special plants no one had ever seen before, and they were very harmful. The influential and very powerful Arkham family, the founders of Gotham, or co-founders, I should say, made a decision that would define the city forever. "We closed the borders," Nathaniel Arkham declared before the city council. People thought they were crazy at first, but the Waynes stood by their side. Years later, young Bruce Wayne never cried at his parents' funeral. He simply stared. Rain rolled down the polished black caskets while hundreds of mourners offered rehearsed condolences. "I'm so sorry for your loss." They were wonderful people. "If there's anything we can do," Bruce heard none of it. Standing beside Bruce was the Wayne family's lifelong steward and butler, Alfred Pennyworth. "You don't have to stay if it's too much," Alfred whispered. Bruce never looked away. Life after the funeral became colder. At the prestigious Black Ridge Academy, Bruce discovered wealth attracted cruelty. Oswald Cobblepot, who before popularity had gotten to him had been his friend, leaned back in his chair during lunch. "So," he smirked, "who's tucking you in now?" Several boys laughed. Another added, "Maybe Alfred reads him bedtime stories." Bruce quietly continued eating. Oswald stood. "I asked you a question." Before Bruce could answer, another student stepped beside Oswald. Alfredo Stryker. "Don't worry. Now that Bruce's family is, well, gone, his wealth will diminish, and he'll be less than a laughingstock. He'll be forgotten." But Bruce still said and did nothing. Alfred found him sitting later beneath the old oak overlooking campus. "You didn't fight?" "No," Bruce said. "Why?" Bruce stared toward the horizon. "Because I don't want to become someone who enjoys hurting people." Alfred smiled sadly. "That's a different Bruce than I knew a few months ago. The one who was so quick to use his fists. Your father would be proud." Months later, a letter arrived at the Wayne Manor without a return address. Inside was a single sentence. "The League of Shadows requests your presence. No explanation, no signature, only a location halfway across the world." Alfred folded the paper carefully. "I've been waiting for this." "You knew? Your father hoped they would choose you one day." "What is it?" "A place where truth attracts more than power. You see, your parents decided that if anything should ever happen to them, you were to join a society of people who made children greater, a secret society known only to the filthy rich, historically filthy, not just recently wealthy, not just recently rich. People who have been wealthy for generations and generations, at least going back to 1,000 years. That is the Wayne family. This league is called the League of Shadows, and they are a society underground. For the next 8 years, Bruce disappeared from public life. The League was unlike anything he had ever imagined. But something within Bruce was always ready to be a candidate at this League. For you see, Bruce was not a normal child after his parents passed. He rehearsed their death, that scene, the gunshot. He became obsessed with rehearsing it every night. And it became such an obsession that he learned to lucidly dream about that murder. He could go into the dream. He could turn left, right. He could see three-dimensional everything. And that made him somewhat phenomenal as a child detective. During Bruce's time with the League of Shadows, someone incredibly famous worldwide died. It was ruled a murder, but the murder seemed to be unsolvable. That was until an anonymous person had revealed every single detail leading to the murder and the criminal behind it. The League of Shadows was indebted to Bruce, as this person assassinated was an important member, one which they would definitely seek revenge on behalf of. Bruce Wayne had solved this mystery and became known in the secret society of the League of Shadows as the world's greatest detective. Even the people around the world, detectives worldwide, police agencies who heard of this crime being solved, called whoever turned in this report, this legendary person, they called him or her the greatest detective in the world. On his 18th birthday, Bruce returned home. Gotham no longer resembled the city he remembered. Towering laboratories stretched across the skyline. Medical advertisements praised Alfredo Stryker as a visionary. See, Alfredo had grown up and become an inherited villain. Those medical advertisements praised him as a visionary, saying diseases once thought incurable, now treatable thanks to Stryker Biomedical. The city loved him. Bruce didn't. Inside Wayne Industries, applause filled the executive boardroom. Welcome home, Mr. Wayne. Now that you are back, you and have turned 18, you can assume full control of Wayne Enterprises. Your parents would be proud. But as Bruce reviewed the financial reports and pretty much every report that had been filed in the year since he'd left, things did not add up. When he turned on the news, other things didn't add up. A new drug was being pushed in Gotham City streets, and it was harming especially the youth. And even rumors of biochemical enhancements were being reported. Bruce and his detective skills were now at work, and they quickly figured out that Alfredo Stryker had something to do with this. For who could and would suspect a biochemical giant who supposedly helped people to be secretly the leader of an underground so evil that it was beginning to spread a drug across the world. Late one night, Bruce found Alfred polishing a desk in one of the massive rooms of Wayne Manor. I found him. Alfred looked up. Stryker? He built an empire. Doing what? Bruce laid photographs across the desk. The medicine is real. He revealed another file. But this isn't medicine. Addiction, violence, death were shown in the pictures. Alfred lowered his glasses. My God. Within weeks, Bruce dismissed nearly the entire executive board. One director shouted, "You can't replace decades of leadership overnight." Bruce calmly slid a folder across the table. "I can replace fraud." "You're only 18. What right do you have? What makes you think you're so smart?" "I know I'm not a criminal." "You'll regret this." Bruce never raised his voice. "I'm counting on it." Days later, Bruce reinstated the company's retired chief engineer and strategist, Lucius Fox. And I say retired, but the board had used their dirty ways to push him out. I wondered if anyone would ever ask me back, said Fox. Bruce shook his hand. I need honest people. Not gonna lie to you, you're young. You're only 18 years old, but you seem wise beyond your years, and I always liked your parents. I don't mind working with you again. I think we can build a great thing from this company. Then, the murders began. Old family friends, former executives, retired investigators, every person connected to the Waynes before Bruce could reach them. One evening, Alfred entered quietly. Another one. Bruce closed his eyes. They're erasing the past. Bruce met with the police commissioner, Roland Graves. I have evidence these deaths are connected. Graves barely glanced at the files. You've been back in town 3 weeks. People are dying. So they are. You aren't going to investigate? Graves leaned forward. The Wayne family spent decades pretending they owned this city. My parents tried to save it, and now they're dead. The commissioner pushed the evidence back to Bruce. Leave police work to police. Outside the office, Lieutenant James Gordon caught up with Bruce. It's been a long time. Yes, I think the last time I saw you was... We don't have to mention it. Your parents were great people. I read your files. You believe me? Gordon hesitated. I believe too many witnesses are dying. Then help me. Gordon sighed. I have a wife. He pulled a photograph from his wallet. And a little girl named Barbara. I need this job. I've survived so long keeping my head low, Bruce smiled. She's beautiful. I've stayed quiet because I wanted to watch her grow up. He looked towards headquarters. I know I could do more. I just need to protect them. So why don't you? Gordon answered honestly. Fear. That night, Bruce stood alone in Wayne Manor. Black armor rested on a steel table. Not military, not ceremonial. Invisible in darkness because of the Vantablack. It was engineered to absorb every ray of light. Alfred entered. So, Bruce tightened one of the gauntlets, the sleek black gloves. This is temporary. Alfred smiled knowingly. The best intentions usually are. I'm not trying to become a hero. No. Alfred looked directly into his eyes. You're trying to become justice. But even if it's just for one night, I think you're doing a pretty good thing. I'm not sure where it would lead, but your training and... Well, let's just say I've worked with the League of Shadows before. I know the type of things you guys do. You're in, you're out, and your objectives are complete fairly quickly. Almost like Navy SEALs. But, Bruce, remember, you're still 18. The city would soon mistake this vigilante for something else entirely. A phantom? A mercenary? A ghost that hunted criminals where the law refused to go. None of them yet knew the name history would one day give him. But Gotham had just witnessed the first step in the rise of its greatest legend.